How are you all doing? I hope you're all doing great, and I hope you're all staying safe. While I eat my breakfast, I asked you guys on the Discord what you wanted to see. So I guess today's video is being judged by you guys. So I'll be right back to you guys once that poll is done. So, you guys have voted, and it officially seems like we're doing an Osmo Action review. So the Osmo Action is a camera that I bought a few days back because you guys may know I have a lot of fake GoPros, and Amazon Prime Day came up, and I decided, you know what? Time to buy something that is actually good. So I got this sick Prime Day deal where I got the DJI Carry Fresh, this floaty thing, the charging kit, and the Osmo Action for just this much, which is absolutely insane for this piece of kit because the camera itself normally costs about £333. If you ever do actually manage to get this kit again, what you get inside is you get 2 extra batteries, a charger for charging those batteries outside of the camera itself, this floating stick that will float up and is orange so that you can easily see it when it's in the water, because this camera is entirely waterproof with no case whatsoever, which is what is so exciting. Oh yeah, and I also got a replacement lens. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. And I have been using this camera for the last few days, and now I can officially say, number 1, this was a great thing that I purchased. And number 2, time to make a review. So the camera itself is really well built. The second you pick it up, it is super heavy. Now, as I said, I've had fake GoPros before, so I'm totally not used to this weight. But this is really heavy for a camera, even without the battery, which can be easily taken out by just sliding the side right here and this one, and the battery just pops out. It is still really heavy for an action camera. And as I have mentioned before, it is also fully waterproof, just like this, no case whatsoever, meaning that there's obviously seals everywhere. The camera itself uses USB Type-C in case you want to connect it to the computer or charge it. And the micro SD card I have inside right now is 128 gigs. However, that doesn't seem to be enough, because as you will see in a second, this thing records at a few really cool resolutions that obviously take up a lot of storage. The lens of this thing is protected by this removable lens cap, which again, I got a replacement for, so you can remove that if it gets scratched and you can replace it, unlike on the newer GoPros, which I have read don't have a removable one. There's a speaker to the right hand side, which is actually really loud, as you will see in a second. Then at the tippity top, you have the lock button, or the power on and power off button. You have your recording button, standard, and then on the left hand side you also have a button for quick switch. Now, quick switch will allow you to switch through different modes that you have preset, so that's really cool, and depending on how many times you press the button, that's the setting you will set to, which is really cool. This setting has saved me so many times. So to power on the camera, you have 2 options. If you instantly want to start recording, you can just press the recording button, and the camera will power on and instantly start recording. Or you can press the power on button, which I'm gonna do right now so that you can hear how loud this thing is. So at the back, you can see the camera has a very nice touchscreen display. Yes, it's touchscreen as most things nowadays, but the big deal about this camera is it also has a front display. So let me switch to that right now. So to switch to the front display, it's super simple. You take 2 fingers and you tap on the back screen. And now, as you can see, the front display is on, which is super cool because it allows you to vlog and see what you are vlogging with this little camera, which is absolutely amazing. And GoPros don't have this feature, at least the older ones. I think they only implemented this in the newer ones, which is absolutely insane, because this is just so helpful and so handy, and I think most action cameras nowadays should have this. The front screen isn't a touchscreen. However, you can still switch modes on it, and it'll tell you what mode you're on, and it's very nice. The colors are very nice, and it is literally all you would ever need to see yourself vlogging. So let's use that to our advantage. Let me show you the mic quality on this camera. So by pressing record right now, you're now hearing the microphone come out of this camera. Now, what I have found is the microphone isn't the best quality, but if you know how to play around with audio quality in Premiere Pro, Audition, or anything like that, you can actually boost this, make it sound better, like I'm doing right now, and it'll actually be perfectly usable. A big bonus of this camera, however, is it has come out with an adapter. So you could plug that adapter into that USB-C port and get a 3.5mm audio jack, meaning you can connect an external microphone, like for example the Rode Video Micro, which is on my main camera right now, to this and have a full-blown vlogging setup. Oh, 2 seconds, my throat is a little dry. Mysticlestore.com. Exciting news about Mysticlestore.com. big price drops. Stay tuned till the end to know more. So now let's take a look at the UI, because the UI on this thing is what I love. I think DJI has really done a good job. Swiping up from the top, you have a bunch of different options. First of all, you have your user settings. So these are your pre-allocated quick switch buttons like I was talking about before. Here you can add them, save current configurations, and see which ones you currently have set. Next one we have is the brightness, and that is pretty self-explanatory. Next one we have is locking the screen, in case you don't want the touchscreen to be activated by anything, and then to unlock it, you just swipe up. Next setting we have is, well, the settings tab. Here you have stuff like voice control, which let's power it on and let me show you how that works. So to take a photo, you literally just say, take a photo. And the camera will take a photo. And if you want to record, start recording. There we go. And now we are recording on the camera. So if you want to use voice control for some reason, it's there. Stop recording. It's really cool that these little features have been added here. It just makes the experience better if you ask me. So scrolling down a little bit lower in the settings, we have snapshot. Then under that, we have the quick switch settings, which are obviously the quick switch options that you can select to have in your quick switch menu. Then under that, we have wireless connection, because this thing connects to your phone using a super cool app that I will show you later. We have wind noise reduction, and if you power that off, the audio from the mic does become a little bit better. However, you can hear more of the sounds from the outside world. Then we have the volume of the camera itself. Then we have face-oriented exposure, where it'll expose it to match your face, which is really cool. You can turn the grid on and off in case you want easy centering. You have anti-flicker, screen auto sleep, record screen off, auto power off. Then you have your LEDs to power them on or power them off. You can change your language, your date and time, format your micro SD card, factory reset the entire thing, and of course you have your about. Then going back to your main options from the top menu here, you have auto rotate, you have spot metering, which will actually do a really nice version of autofocus, where it'll focus on wherever you put the dot. And personally, I really like this when I'm recording outside because it works really, really well. Then of course you have that voice control, and you can change whether you want the front screen to be full or not full, which is really nice. Swiping from the right to the left, you get your recording options. So you can either go full auto or manual. So switching back to the recording options, if you swipe to the side, you can see there again, you have more options, except this time you have settings for video. So you have your white balance, auto, underwater, or custom. You have your colors, design-like, which is if you want kind of a more raw piece of footage to work with. If you do color correction in post, then you have rewrap, and you have your format, either MOV or MP4. Swiping from the left to the right, you have your gallery, where you can view videos and photos that you have recorded. And swiping from the bottom to the top, you have all the possible resolutions. Now this is what I love about this camera. It records 4K 60, and it does this while also using a really cool feature this thing has called rocksteady, and this is a competitor to GoPro's Stabilisation, and let me tell you, this thing does a great job. There's a sample clip rolling above me right now. This thing is absolutely amazing, and the fact that it can do it at 4K 60 is just great. However, if you switch to 4:3, rocksteady becomes unavailable. But as long as you're not doing 4:3 on 4K, rocksteady should be available. Now going down to 1080p, that 60 FPS frame mark increases all the way to 240 FPS for some absolutely sick slow motion shots. And the fact that you can do that at 1080p is really nice. However, a weird part about this camera is rocksteady is actually not available in slow motion. I don't find this to be too much of an issue because when I slow footage down, it looks pretty stable anyway. They have been updating this camera quite a lot, and this thing has gotten quite a lot of really cool updates, so I'm thinking that might change in the future, which is really, really cool. It's nice to see that equipment keeps getting updated, keeps being up to date, and gets new features when updates come out. I hate seeing it when companies leave a product in the dust and just forget about it. However, this one is not one of those. As you can see here, you can select your mode, then you can scroll down from the top again, go to your user options, and add it under the C button. So as you can see currently, if I press the C button once, it's 4K 60. However, if I press it again, it's 4K 30 for night shots, which I have pre-selected there. And then of course you can add just standard recording options there as well. HDR video, slow motion, time lapse, hyperlapse, loop recording, and photo. And these are just kind of like the preset options that you have in the camera itself. However, as I told you, this camera also comes with an app. The app is called DJI Mimo. So as you can see, I have the app launched, and all I do is I click connect. That is going to find the camera, connect to it, and show me live view of the camera and what the camera is seeing on my phone. And in here, I will also have a bunch of different options, of course, to control the camera, see everything it sees. So as you can see right now, I can see everything the camera can see. So as you can see in the app, you have a bunch of different options. You can even live stream straight from the app. You have loop recording, you have video, you have HDR video, slow motion, time lapse, and hyperlapse. All the options that you could switch on the camera, you can also switch here. Then of course, to the side, you have all the different settings you can play around with, overexposure alert, histograms, anti-flicker, everything you had on the camera, and maybe even a little bit more. Then in the bottom right, you have your gallery so that you can view everything that has been recorded on the camera and even download it straight to the phone. And to the top right, you can lock AE, which is auto exposure, which is really, really cool. So there's the app. So what do I think about this thing overall? Well, I think it's a great little camera, and personally I've never had a real GoPro before, but I have used one. And this thing seems to be doing just as well, especially with that rocksteady option, which works incredibly. And I personally put this on my helmet while I'm out electric skateboarding, and this thing does great with the bumps and great with the crappy footpaths that we have here. It stabilizes the footage really well and gets everything recorded at a crisp 4K 60. Now, storage again is a problem because 4K 60 takes a lot of space, but if you're buying a camera that does 4K 60, you better be ready for that. Another huge plus for me is the fact that it's waterproof, because I'm in a country where it rains a lot, and therefore I would prefer my cameras to be waterproof just in case. So what's my overall verdict? If you can find this thing for a nice price, or even if you're looking for it, the default price of 333 Great British pounds is great for this. I think this is totally worth it with the amount of updates that it's been getting and with all the features that it has, including the front screen, which is absolutely insane. I think this thing is absolutely worth it, and I would certainly recommend it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you found out a few things about the camera. I hope you found everything you were looking for, and if you didn't, let me know down in the comments. Hopefully I'll be able to answer your questions. If you guys want to buy this camera, I have affiliate links for it down in the description below, which help you support the channel while you don't pay anything extra. Talking about supporting the channel, mysticalstore.com. I was looking at the prices yesterday, and I was talking with my administrators, and I was like, hey guys, the prices, they're a little bit high, you know? So I lowered them, and I lowered them quite significantly, as you can see on the screens flashing in front of me. And I did this with the release of our brand new collections, because we have two brand new collections. We have the Another World collection, and we have the Shatter Reality collection. So if you guys want to check any of those out, they are on a huge discount, and this isn't even a sale. They're staying like this. So you don't need to worry about this running out or anything. The prices, they're staying like this. I'm not bringing them back up again. So if you guys are interested in anything, make sure to check out mysticalstore.com down in the description below if you want to support the channel and get yourself some really cool professionally designed merch while we're at it, because I got professionals to design this because I'm not a professional. So if you guys liked today's video, please give it a like. If you guys disliked it, I guess this button works too, but please tell me why down in the comment section below. If you guys want to be notified about future content, I post tech videos daily and VR videos on Mondays and Fridays. So if that kind of floats your boat, if you enjoy this type of content, make sure to smack that subscribe button with your forehead, ding my bell, and see you again in the next video. Peace.